My teacher, the great Naseeruddin Shah, says one thing. If you're
Hmm.
nervous, it means that you're not prepared enough. Really eager to know what people think about it. And I'm really excited to know what this show is going to bring onto the table. SIT, the Special Investigations Team,
Hmm.
like they called it. Every setback they were facing felt personal. I can very easily say, oh, you know what? I really love Humpty because that was my first successful film, because people loved me in that, and I became this bit of a star. It was not about not wanting to play a small role. We all know the kind of love I received for Shershaah. We are all aware of
Absolutely.
the kind of beauty that film was. I can only be thankful. Like, I'm still thankful for to Dharma and Karan Johar for
Good afternoon. So welcome to
good
Filmibeat.
afternoon.
Okay. So
Thank you, Mumtaz.
yeah. First of all, congratulations on the amazing response to the trailer. It looks quite intriguing and people are loving it basically.
Thank you so much. This is for the whole team.
Yeah. So there's still a couple of days left for the release. So, how have the past few days been like? Are you nervous? Do you still get pre-release jitters?
My teacher, the great Naseeruddin Shah, says one thing. If you're
Hmm.
nervous, it means that you're not prepared enough. I don't
Oh.
think I'm nervous. I think we've made a good show. Uh, we've
Hmm.
we've really put our hearts and souls into this. So I don't think we're nervous. We're excited. We're really, I am personally very eager to know how it's received, because it's not the kind of show that you see every day. It's not the kind of
Yeah.
content that you, even as an audience member, when I watch certain things, there's fiction, there are things made to entertain the audience.
Hmm.
Then there are documentaries which have a lot of information, a lot of voiceover, real footage, real photographs from history. this
Hmm.
this is something that I've very rarely watched. It's not like I've not watched stuff like this before, but being a part of something like this, which is absolutely real, which is absolutely meticulously made exactly the way it happened, and yet we're actors, we're performing, we're playing characters. There's a story that goes on. They say real life is sometimes far more cinematic than a film itself. So
Yeah,
this is that
absolutely.
kind of a show. So I'm really eager to know what people think about it, and I'm really excited to know what the show is going to bring onto the table, because it's going to set a bar for a lot of uh, historic stuff that's made, because
Hmm.
there's no excess dramatization, there's no excess um, cinematic liberty taken, there's no drama, because there's already so much drama in
In this
what actually
incident
happened.
itself.
Yeah,
Yes.
in the incidents itself, in the way that things unfolded, the way the
Yeah.
investigation went on. It is already so unbelievable. It is so, how do I put it? There's no word to describe. What do you call it? Have you watched the show?
Not yet, but I'm looking forward to it.
Not yet.
But
So when you
I
watch the show,
loved the trailer.
when you watch the show, you'll come back to this interview and you'll kind of agree with me that there's no word
Yeah.
to describe. Maybe there is. We would probably need uh, an accomplished orator to come up with a word from the glossary of words which is already available but not known to us. We're not intelligent
Yeah.
enough to describe this kind of uh, event, or this the series of events that followed the assassination of our ex-prime minister.
Yeah.
It's unbelievable, it's surprising, it's shocking, and it's frustrating at the same time.
Yeah, right, correct. When you first read the script, what was that one particular thing that you heard about your character, Amit Verma, that made you instantly said yes to this series?
It was a no-brainer for me because they were looking for me. I would say they were literally looking for a character who looked North Indian, who spoke
Okay.
fluent Tamil, and who looked exactly like me. Because SP Amit Verma, the kind of heavy set man that he was, the kind of
Hmm.
authority that he had, the kind of rebel that he was, I found a lot of myself in SP Amit Verma. The only thing that lacked in me as an actor at that time was the level of maturity, the level of understanding of how law functions or how investigations go about, because we're talking about a time where investigations used to happen, one, without a digital footprint, without mobile phones, without the internet. It was very hard. It's a classic, what do I call it, old school investigation. I personally never thought investigations were possible back in the day because nothing was available. Everything had to be done by hand, on ground. Everything had to be done by real people, real human beings, you know,
Yeah.
no computers, no iske call records nikal lo, nothing like that. And still,
Yeah.
these six investigative officers, they went in and they almost, I would say almost, because when you watch the show, you'll realize why I say almost. These guys went in and they cracked it in 90 days. I could say that I know how they did it, but I still feel sometimes I don't know how they did it. I don't know how it happened, which means they were really capable officers, which means they were really, onto the trail of the assassin, as you would say it. So it's like I said, unbelievable, crazy, yet frustrating.
As you said, ki the show is made on on real events, and it's an integral part of our history. So while shooting for the show, was there any particular day or was there any particular moment where you felt emotionally and physically drained?
No, not emotionally or physically drained, but I would say the last episode, when we were shooting the last episode, it kind of all everything. When you watch the last episode, you'll understand when I say this, that every setback that the SIT, the Special Investigations Team, like
Hmm.
they called it, every setback they were facing felt personal, because I felt, as a patriot, as someone who loves his country, I felt like, why is this happening? Every little setback, and I'm like, but why? and and I would get only one answer. Yeah, because that's the way it happened. I said, no, I'm
Yeah.
not asking why we're doing it like this. I'm asking, why did it happen the way it happened? And obviously there are no answers for that. So all those expressions, all those emotions that I went through while shooting the last episode, me and my really good friend Nishan, who played uh, DIG Sri Kumar in the show, both of us who were on ground at that very moment, we were like, ऐसा भी होता है क्या? Is it possible that something like this happens? So that was not draining emotionally as such, but it was, we were like, yeah, this shouldn't have happened. And everything became very personal. We were like, how could how could such accomplished officers who've led a almost a perfect investigation till now be so helpless in the end? It was heartbreaking rather. So yeah,
Have you read the book the series is based on?
yes, I have.
Wow.
When I started reading the book after we started shooting for the show, because
Oh,
during the course of the shoot, I was I was informed that we're adapting this
mhm.
book, 90 days, beautifully written. It's not fiction. For anybody who buys a copy and reads it, believe me, it's not fiction. It's it's a it's a history book.
It's a fact.
It's fact. It's a history book, and uh, I don't know. Again, we have to come up with a word to describe this investigation. It was
So,
successful yet unsuccessful.
uh,
It was it was an example of some really fine detective work, but yet to no avail, to no victory. It's kind of like a mixed bag of emotions, so to speak. There are these six gentlemen best at what they do who've let go of their personal lives for like 90 days and they succeed, but yet they don't. How do you describe something like that?
it's all in the last episode.
So, no, I mean, it's not just in the last episode. If you just watch the last episode, you'll be like, wait a second, what happened? And if you watch the last episode, you'll be like, wait, I want to watch the previous episode. Wait, I want to watch the previous episode. Wait, I want to watch the previous episode. Watch it
It's
in
like a whole
sequence.
platter. You just don't want to grab the dessert. You want starter, you want main course,
Yeah,
side dish, and then you get
yeah.
into the dessert part.
You want to go through the whole thing. And believe
Yeah.
me, you watch the show, you're going to feel like reading the book. You read the book, you're going to feel like watching the show. I am so glad that Applause and Sony Live believed in this. I'm so glad that they roped in Mr. Nagesh Kukunur for this. There couldn't have been a better director for this storytelling. Every actor, every casting choice by Casting Bay was spot on. I can say that now because I've worked with all these fine gents and I've watched the show twice because I dubbed for myself in Tamil and in Hindi for the comfort of
Oh,
all kinds of audiences. But
so
my
you're
God,
fluent in Tamil.
yeah, that
Wow.
that was one of the main reasons I got cast. Initially, they
Yeah.
didn't cast me for my acting. Initially, they cast me because I could speak Tamil and I looked North Indian. But eventually,
Oh,
during the course of the shoot, Nagesh sir did uh, say that they got lucky because I'm a good actor as well. I'm very, very thankful that he
that's
thinks that way.
really good.
And I'm very thankful for the trust that he put into each one of us. He really believed in us as actors. He really shared everything. It's not like he was not like the kind of director who says, you know what, I want to give this actor only this much info. Every day would be a revelation about the book. Every day would be a revelation. A new nugget of information would come to us. ऐसा हुआ था. And we would be like,
Oh.
what, really? And he'd make this very, Yoda like face and say, see, isn't it interesting? I'm like, yeah, it's very interesting. And we would wake up and we would run to the set because we wanted to find out what else happened. And that's the reason the last episode became so personal. The last episode became so heartbreaking. It was like living in this really beautifulyou written book, you know. So It's only you have to watch the show to believe what I'm saying. So I'm you can easily say, oh, it's your show. You'll obviously say good things about the show, but believe me, I I I've become a fan of the show. I'm not an actor anymore. I watch the show completely from an
from
objective
an
point of view, and
audience.
from an audience point of view, and I'm completely I'm like I can't believe we made something in such detail, in such accuracy. It's all the creative team, and it's all the director, the direction team, everybody. They just they brought a piece of history to life, is what I would say.
Even for the actors, it was like going, waking up every morning and going to class to learn something new about history.
Oh yeah, yeah. With Nagesh Kukunur's set, it's almost as if like you're going to film school all over again. You're going to
Um,
because I came from a background of a lot of commercial stuff that I did, a lot
yeah,
of jumping around, a lot of fooling around. You're aware of my previous work. For
yes.
me to jump into something of this genre, of this look and feel, of this it was I kept the initial 10-15 days of the shoot, I kept thinking, wait a second, how am I doing something like this?
Mm.
Do I even qualify to be amongst these guys? But everyone from Amit Sial to Bhagwati Perumal, Bucks, as he likes being called, to Nishan and Girish Sharma, who's my junior from college. We had a
Oh,
nice reunion on set, yeah. And
wow.
Danish Iqbal, who plays uh, DIG Amod Kant, the kind of chemistry we all shared, all actors of the stage, all actors who are who've spent their lives training in their respective crafts. It was just a dream come true for an actor. It was not like any other film set or any set that I've been to before. I will always cherish the memories of being on this set.
Really looking forward to the show. You've been in this industry for over a decade now, and you have done
Way,
comedy, you have done,
slightly more than a decade, yes.
yeah. So you have done comedy, you have done serious roles. So after all these years, which genre do you feel still is the toughest to crack?
uh, After this show, I would say I don't find anything tough or challenging anymore.
Oh, wow.
I'm being honest.
Yeah.
I'm I want to sound humble, but there's no humility. I would be lying if I say, "Oh, this is really challenging. Oh, this is very tough." I have danced to songs. I have lip synced songs. I have done action. You know, when
Wow.
you're doing something for the first time, it feels new. It feels challenging. But then we're human beings and we're very intelligent beings. And when we figure something out, it's not as challenging anymore. So
Yeah.
I still feel the toughest part of my job is to get the job, to find these really beautiful films and shows to do,
Characters. Yeah.
characters, and for that, for this particular outing, I would very wholeheartedly thank Applause and Sony Live, because if it wasn't for them, I wouldn't be here, and I wouldn't have been experimented upon. I wouldn't have been trusted upon, and I wouldn't have given you a completely different kind of performance, the kind that I never thought I would give. I have
Yeah.
tried.
It's really
I have
something new.
Yeah. And don't expect any comedy from this. Don't expect any comedy or any drama from my performance or this show, because it's not funny. It's a show that narrates a real event, a real occurring from our history, and it's a story worth telling. It's a story worth knowing. It's a story worth watching. And by God, I was so nervous of letting out nuggets of comic timing here and there. But I think Nagesh sir tapped me really well. I think he really just kept nudging me in the right direction every now and then, and he didn't have to. He felt, I at least from my point of view, it didn't feel like it was very difficult to, maneuver me into doing this properly.
Oh.
I know it would have been a tough job. It would have been, but we will have to ask him. It's a question for him. How difficult was it to direct us? But solid fun we had on this set. And it's not the kind of fun you would imagine. Yo, masti chal rahi hai.
Cracking jokes, pulling each other's leg. It's not this kind of fun.
No, that also happened every now and then, but that was not the highlight of the fun. The highlight of the fun
Yeah.
was in the discovery of what transpired back in the day. And for us to be like, wait a second, will we be able to pull this off? Because this sounds like this is not the kind of emotion that we've been through in life. Let's put our heads together. Let's sit and figure out this scene. And that discovery, that when you walk through a dense forest in the dark of the night, without in a moonless night, and you only have a torch, and you keep discovering, oh, there's a path. Oh, wait, hold on a second, the path leads this way. It was that kind of a feeling when we were all together shooting.
Lovely. So, after all these years, is there, mm if you had to pick one character of yours that is particularly favorite or you'll always remain closer to your heart, which one would you pick?
I can answer to this
Ah,
question on on the 5th of July, after people have watched
oh,
this character of mine, because I can very easily say, oh, you know what, I really love Humpty because that was my first successful film, because people loved me in that, and I became this bit of a star. I could say it's Badri, I could say it's Shershaah, I could say it's Dil Bechara. But believe me, I want to wait till the 5th of July. Like I said, I'm very eager. I have a feeling it's going to be this role. I have a feeling it's going to be this performance, which is going to be my favorite. It's going to be one of my best, because I'm not saying this because I'm promoting this show right now. I'm saying it with with a lot of belief that when we do something new, when we outdo ourselves, and when we are proud of something, because every time I've given a performance back in the day, I would be like, I could have done better. यार ये scene ऐसे क्यों किया? अरे यार, I should have done it this way. But okay, fine, people are loving it. Okay, great. But here, I'm happily and very surprisingly, I'm like, wow, we did that. Because in the dubbing, when we watch some scenes, we're like, me particularly, I'm in the dubbing studio thinking, wow, we did that. I did not know we could do this. I did not know we could pull this off. And it's all probably because the team around me was so efficient. The team around me, my co-actors, my direction team, everybody. And there are words in Tamil that I've spoken, which even as a Tamil speaker, I never spoke. And I'm like, wait, I could do that. I could say those words. And obviously, because they're not from your general normal vocabulary, you say them, but you don't remember saying them. And you're like, wait a second, I could do that. So on the 5th of July, if you ask me again, Mimtaz, I would say
Hmm.
I have a strong feeling. I
Amit
would say
Verma.
it's this role, Amit Verma, and I loved playing this part. Uh, I could say uh, I can't outdo myself, but I only pray and I hope that I get more parts, which are, again, they put me through a completely different path to discovery as an actor, because I have a feeling I have a lot more to give. Because after doing The Hunt, I feel like if this can happen, a lot more is possible. It's given me a lot of hope as an artist, to believe in myself, that if this ye ho gaya, this, if I could do this, and I can't I didn't feel a lot of pressure doing it. Yes, like I said, a lot of credit goes to people around me, the co-actors, my direction team, and everybody. But I can't I can't dismiss the fact that it was me who was doing what I was doing, and if I could do that, God knows what all is in store for discovery. I'm really eager for people to kind of keep experimenting on me, give me different kind of parts, because I'm on this path to, that hunger to discover more. So
Yeah.
the answer to your question will keep changing. Hopefully, it'll keep changing with every passing year. But for now, it's Amit Verma.
Okay. Lovely. Okay. So the last question. Um, few years back, you spoke about, you actually wanted to do an uniformed role in Shershaah, but
Yeah,
the team convinced you कि you can pull off actually Sunny's role, and you did. And then
yeah,
in an interview, it was kind of something misunderstanding happened, and they quoted it कि अच्छा you regretted it, small part and all. So after all these things, you said कि some of the people's feelings were hurt, but you didn't mention the regret word. So after all that things, did you get the chance to meet Karan Johar in person and
yeah. I
discuss
did. I
things,
did.
clarify things?
I did. I mean, these people are big people. They have a big heart, all of them. You know, Shershaah was my first time when I was playing a real person, and I met
Oh,
Sunny Bhai. I met him while we were shooting for that. I wanted to play a uniformed part because maybe I had that, that I always wanted to be a soldier. I wanted to serve the nation. I wanted to don the uniform. I will someday. In a way, I did don the uniform in this show, and
oh,
it was a beautiful experience. But back in the day, like I said, I lacked the maturity to understand that there is a part that I completely fit for. There is a role that I am really good for, and the director sees me as that part. I'm solving a particular problem for that director. Why shouldn't I? Why shouldn't I solve that problem? And why should I be so selfish and say I want to play a uniformed part just because as a kid I'm like I want to be an army officer. I will be eventually in some
definitely.
form or some show, but they were very kind. They understood that I was misunderstood while making that quote. Uh,
Mm.
it was not about not wanting to play a small role. We all know the kind of love I received for Shershaah. We are all aware of
Absolutely.
the kind of beauty that film was. I can only be thankful. I'm still thankful for to Dharma and Karan Johar for believing in me through Humpty, Badri, and Shershaah. I've done 3 films with them, and I only pray that I
Yeah.
get to do more work with them because they're a good production house. They're a good production house to work with. The the only other place other than the Hunt set, I had fun, but that was the different kind of fun. It was like a party every day. Was on a Dharma film set. They really take good care of their actors. They really, give that freedom, that play field for actors to kind of bring out their best. And that's the kind of environment I found here on the hunt. And believe me, I regret is not a word which I would generally say.
Yeah.
So you've spoken to me for a while now. Do I sound like a guy who regrets anything in my life? I don't think so. So no regrets whatsoever.
Okay, so that's it. Thank you. Thank you for chatting with us, and I hope you had fun while answering these questions.
Yes, I did. Thank you. Thank you so much, Mumtaz.
Thank you
Thank you,
so much.
Sahil.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mumtaz.
Thank you. All the best for this show, and hope we can do this up again.
Thank you. And please do watch it and ask everybody in your
Absolutely.
family, your friend circle, everybody to watch this show. Yeah.